Well, it's close enough to afternoon, so I'm going to go with good afternoon. It's at 11:30 right now. We're up in Massena getting loaded. He just put on the first stack. Unfortunately, I had to loosen up the timber that I have sitting on the front of the trailer to get it a little out of the way. It was so cold before Christmas when I delivered that load. I was extremely wet and it was just brutal. I wish I stayed inside. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video last, but there was a guy waiting for the door outside, so I decided I'm going to put the last couple straps away. I decided I was going to put the last couple straps away outside so that the next guy could get in the door. That was the worst mistake. I should have just stayed inside and finished putting stuff away. It was so cold outside and I was already soaking wet from all of the snow and ice that was on the load melting, that everything on me was wet. And then when I went outside, it was even worse, because then you had the cold air, plus you had the wind was blowing, and it was just a total nightmare. I think that alone took me over a half an hour just to try to get the tarps put away, and then all I did with the timber, I just snugged it all together. I put two pieces of the two small pieces on top, and then I had the four big timber on the bottom. And I put the two straps over top of all of it, and then I was like, well, that ain't gonna work, because it's the two longer ones on the outside has nothing pushing down on it. So instead of trying to restack it and everything, I just said screw it. I grabbed two 2-inch straps and I threw them over the ends of the long pieces. So I had four straps in total on 6 pieces of wood. But I just didn't care. I needed to go home. I was freezing cold. I got into the truck. I changed my hoodie. I changed my pants. Well, I pulled off my pants and I put on my sweatpants. And I just blasted the heat, and my whole body, like, it had that numb feeling. You could just feel like the blood coming back to the surface. The warmth coming back to the surface, however you want to word that, but I could feel like the outer layers warming back up on my whole body. It was brutal. It was really brutal. But anyway, I had to move those boards so that we can get this on. I was just going to wait. This load is going down to Florida. So I was just going to wait until we got down to like Virginia or something and put them away. But I think I'm just going to take the 5 minutes that it's going to take to put everything away. I was going to chain them on the front, and then then I had to pull the chain out and do that, or I ended up having to put everything away later. I scared myself for 1 second when I was out here. I went to go get my bar to loosen up the straps, and it was so bad that day that I was like, man, please don't tell me I sat it down and forgot it somewhere again. But I didn't. It was just so cold that I did whatever I could. I got two stacks of bungees in here. I took all the bungees from each side on that coil load, and I wrapped them up and I put them in here, because when it's that cold, the elasticity doesn't come back. It's not. They don't return to size right away, so I needed to put them in a warm area. And that's what I usually do in the winter time. Sometimes I just end up leaving them up here on that thingy on the floor. I always want to call them mud flaps. you know what I'm talking about. It's gonna pop in my head in a couple minutes. I usually just leave it on that because it's got a lot of little pockets on it for water. And then if I have to do another tarp load right afterwards, then they're already where they need to be for stretchiness. But I keep all my bungees underneath the trailer. I think I've showed that in the past. There's like 4 spots on the trailer, front and back, and then if you split the middle, so if you go count the middle to the front, in between that I have another stack both sides. So basically anywhere I am at on the trailer I can grab a couple bungees, and it's nice. It makes putting them away maybe a little bit slower, because then I got to sit underneath there and I got to string up each bungee at a time. But the nice part is I don't have to open up a whole, I guess, pack of bungees. Usually you'll put like 50 in a bundle and you'll wrap them up, and you don't have to open up those bundles every time. You can just, if you need 10 bungees, you can take 10 bungees. You don't have to open up a bundle of 50 to get 10 out. So that's the nice part about doing that. The floor mat, as I said, it would pop in my head here in a minute. It was called mud flaps for some reason. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Christmas was great. I hope everybody else had a great Christmas. I had to get a couple things done at the house. Learned a lesson or two. We had my furnace, the blower motor. The blower motor didn't go, but the blower motor has 3 brackets that come off of it, and 2 of the brackets broke off, and it was only holding up by 1, so it was unable to turn. So I spent a bunch of time pulling all of the return vents off, not realizing that the blower motor itself slid right out. So it was a lesson on that it's easy for the blower motor to slide out. On the other hand, I'm not mad, because there was still a good amount of dust and stuff built up in those sections of the vents, so I was able to clean them out. And I won't go through filters as much, so that was a benefit. What else? I got a bunch of wood delivered to my house. Well, my father and I just got a dump truck, which he's in the hospital now, but we just recently got a dump truck. A small one. It's an International 4900. And I went and picked that up, and I loaded it up with firewood and was able to get that over and use the dump for the first time at the house. So that went pretty smoothly. The guy just dumped a whole stack of the sows. Ingots, T-tops, tabletops, whatever you want to call them. He just dumped the whole thing. Oopsie. Just hate to see that sort of thing happen. Anyway, I'm gonna I think he's about finished up, maybe one more stack, and get outside, get the stuff strapped down, put the boards away, and I'll give you a quick show of the load. Alright, so I kind of forgot to show the load yesterday. Today I'm not really doing anything but driving, and so I'm just going to add this clip here to yesterday's video. Today I'm probably, for tomorrow's video I should say,
I'm probably just going to do some road footage because there's not really much to shoot today, and I don't know, we'll see. Something that inspires me to talk about something, then I guess you guys will find out tomorrow. But for the finish off today's video, here's the load. We actually made it down here to New Milford. Obviously this is nothing new. You guys see this load pretty much all the time with me. I'm not always taking it to the same place, but the one thing I didn't even pay attention to is like this strap here's the I like them like this so that the roll part is to the front, and it turned the other way for me. And sometimes, yeah, I'm not even gonna fight with it. The reason I like that is because the wind gets caught, just goes around like this. In this direction, the wind is gonna get caught in here. I mean, it's still gonna push off or whatever, but I ended up with 2 of them like that. But it is what it is. So we stayed down here. It's in New Milford, Pennsylvania. We made it a pretty good distance, but I actually had about an hour left on my 14 last night. I just didn't feel like going any further, so I stayed here at the Flying J. Luckily, it was New Year's Eve, so a lot of people weren't out. So there was a lot of spots left here last night. Anyway. Today is New Year's Day, and I wish everybody a Happy New Year's. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe.